Brexit talks are currently ongoing in London until Wednesday, having restarted on Thursday after reports from both sides they had stalled. But when is the Brexit transition deadline? Brexit trade talks reached what many experts claimed as a potential end, with both sides claiming the other is unwilling to compromise earlier this month. However, trade talks restarted on Thursday last week right before the UK signed its first free trade agreement with Japan. But when exactly is the Brexit transition deadline? Britain formally left the European Union at 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on January 31. However, this did not mean the official end of Brexit. Instead, the UK began an 11-month transition period, which meant the country was bound to the EU's current rules until the terms for the UK's independence were agreed. During the transition period, the UK would remain bound in both the EU customs union and single market, which means until the transition period ends most things will remain the same. Talks restarting between the EU and UK last week prompted optimism about a new deal. The EU chief negotiator Michel Barnier will remain in the UK until Wednesday, October 28, according to a Downing Street source. Mr. Barnier was originally due to leave the UK on Sunday. However, extending these talks has been seen as a good sign for those hoping an agreement will be reached by the end of the year. Northern Ireland Secretary Brandon Lewis said the extended talks were a very good sign a deal can be done. He told the BBC's Andrew Marr show, "We have got to make sure it is a deal that works, not just for our partners in Europe, but one that works for the United Kingdom." He added, "The EU needs to understand it is for them to move as well, so that we can get a deal that works for the UK as well, a proper free trade agreement that recognises us as the UK being a sovereign nation." A source said Mr. Barnier's decision to remain in London was partly due to the difficulty of making UK negotiators travel to Brussels for further talks planned this week amid soaring rates of coronavirus in the Belgian capital. But a Whitehall source told The Telegraph the EU seemed to have acknowledged that it is more of a two-way street. "There is now a possibility we might be able to get there with a meaningful process.